Welcome everybody to what I am hoping is not the season finale. I am hoping that in our final two games of the season, we can get the win that we need to guarantee a place in the playoffs in our third season in the Championship. But it is not going to be easy. Today we are taking on Blackburn Rovers at home. They are second in the table. They only need a point to guarantee automatic promotion to the Premier League. And we then finish the season away at 9th place Sunderland, who could still maybe make the playoffs themselves. So this is a really tough finish to the season. And if that wasn't bad enough, we are really, really inconsistent. So no guarantees. Let's get into it and let's hope we can pull off a victory. Let's go. Welcome back to Dog Turds into Diamonds. Here we are with AFC Rushden and Diamonds, the end of our third season in the Championship. I really don't want to do 4, but I think I'm probably going to have to accept it. We've really struggled for form all season long. It has got no better in recent weeks. I just want to guarantee a place in the playoffs, but we've got a really tough finish to do it. We're taking on Blackburn Rovers at home. They have just got a new manager. Marco Silva was their manager. He was previously in this save the England manager, which is a little bit odd. But he has just left Blackburn just a couple of weeks ago. They were top of the table and he walked out on them to join 12th place Brentford. It makes absolutely no sense. They're on the verge of the Premier League and he has jumped ship to do another season in the Championship. I can only imagine that is related to money. But maybe that gives us half a chance. If we take a look at Blackburn, so Arne Slot is their new manager. He has just come in. I think he might have lost his first game. I mean, he looks decent enough. But if we look at Blackburn's form, all right. So he won his last game at home against QPR, drew previously against Portsmouth. So actually, they're not on a great run of form. They're just 2 wins in the last 7 games, 2 wins in the last 7. But hopefully that opens a little bit of a door for us. But we're going to have to wait and see what happens. In terms of our form, well, it's really not been good. We are so inconsistent. We've just lost our last game at Huddersfield. When were you last here? I don't even remember when the last game was. It was Leicester and Norwich, wasn't it? When we lost both of those games. We then did have a decent little recovery. I spoke about this. I felt that these 4 games were winnable. Well, you can see we won 3 and drew 1. And it's really these 4 results that kept us in the playoff spots. A 3-1 win against Plymouth. It's a team we should be beating. We were pretty good here. We had a lot more shots than them. A 1.99 XG. Good passing percentage. Salah Lalafi scoring again. Anthony Johnson. And a first goal for Josh Steffen, just to make it certain in the 94th minute in the end. It was a little bit nervy. 2-1 the last few minutes. They had a couple of goes at us, but we managed to get the job done in the end. 3-1 then, and we moved on to Millwall at home. Millwall have not been great. They are still not sure of survival. You can see it was a pretty even game, but we did have a much better XG. But we were actually 3-2 down until the 84th minute. They went 2-0 up early on 27 and 28th minutes. It was looking bad at that point, but Jack Evans got one back instantly. And in the 52nd minute, Salah Lalafi equalised. We were better than them in the second half. But when they went 3-2 up in the 78th minute, I thought it was another defeat. But Sabe, he was playing centre-back in this game. which obviously the fact we conceded 3 is not great, but he did score his first goal for us, scrambling in, I think it was from a corner, and that saved us the point. And who knows how important that point could be. We then got a rare away win. We haven't been great away from home of late, but we won 2-1 away at QPR. Again, a very even game. You could say that they were the better side, a shot more on target, a better XG, more possession. But we managed, courtesy of Salah Lalafi, to get the 3 points here. Johnson and Guante on the wings were absolutely terrible. You can see, by the way, I went back to the number 10 Trecatista formation. I just needed to shake things up after that Leicester-Norwich episode. So I did change the formation up. And, well, in the case of these games, it did seem to help us to get a few results. So, again, not the better team here. We have not been the better team in many games this season. We've really struggled. But Salah Lalafi, who really is now starting to fulfill his potential, he got these 2 goals. He's now got 23 in 40 in the league's second top scorer. You can see he is now above a 7 average, which shows how consistent he's been of late, although his last 5 games he's got a 6.64 average and only 2 goals. So maybe I'm talking out of my backside, aren't I? But yeah, we have really relied on Salah Lalafi's goals. We then won 2-0 at home against Ipswich. Ipswich are a very average team. It was a rare, decent performance from us. They only had 2 shots on target. Anthony Johnson and Peter Finnan, the Fulham loanee, we've just put a bid in to renew his loan. I think he's an excellent striker for the Championship level. He's got 5 in 9 in the league for us. Yeah, if we can get him in for next season for nothing, then I'm more than happy with that. I think he's a cracking player who could score a lot of goals next season. So if he's with us in the Championship next season, that's great. If he's with us in the Premier League, well, you know, we'll deal with that. But yeah, a decent enough performance here, although in midfield we weren't great, but just nice to get another win. So it was 10 points from 12, which signalled a good recovery. So even more annoying then that we were at home against Portsmouth in the following game, and we were beaten 3-1. And not just that, we were awful. Look at the stats on this game. I cannot tell you what the cause was, what I could have done differently, what I could have changed. We were just absolutely awful all over the field. Just nothing worked. We were absolutely destroyed. And yeah, I was more than angry at the end of that game. You can bet your life we were throwing a water bottle in the changing room at the end of that one. So after that, I was really worried when we went into this Bristol City game. Bristol City are 4th place, 1 place above us in the Championship. And we beat them 3-0. We beat them 4-0 at home on the opening day of the season and 3-0 in this game. If we were to end up facing them in the playoffs, that would give me a lot of confidence. You can see it was an even game. It wasn't a 3-0 game, but we were 2-0 up early on. Lalafi with a penalty, Anthony Johnson in the 7th minute, and it was Jose Santos, the Portuguese Benfica loanee, getting his first goal for us right at the end of the game. And I've renewed his loan for next season. He's only costing us £625 a week. I think this kid is going to be an absolute superstar. 18 years old. If only he was a goal scorer. He's not very good at long shots or finishing. He's much more of a playmaker. So, I mean, he's not going to be a reliable source of goals. But actually, I'm saying he got his first goal for us. He's got 2 there. So obviously I've missed one somewhere, haven't I? There you go. That shows how on it I am. Yeah, he's going to be an absolutely fantastic player. Only 18 years old and this good. If only he could score, he would just be a perfect number 10, wouldn't he? But I think he's going to be absolutely cracking. I'm delighted to have him confirmed for next season. So yeah, nice for him to get on the score sheet there. And again, it was just a really good 3 points, an more important than that, against a big rival. We then took on Middlesbrough, who, as you have already seen, are threatening the playoff places. They are one of the main rivals for a playoff spot. So I was really pleased to get a 1-1 draw away in this game. We haven't been good away. You can see this was an appalling performance. And that's why I didn't see Jose Santos' second goal, because he scored it here. Look, there you go. I am really on top of the details, as you can see. Yes, Jose Santos got a late equaliser, a really nice passing move, but it was our only shot on target the entire match. We were very, very lucky to get away with this one. Very, very lucky indeed. And again, who knows how important that point is going to be come the end of the season. We then took on another direct rival for those playoff spots in Reading and got a 2-0 win. So this was really fantastic. Again, we were not the better team. We just weren't. Only 3 shots on target, a worse XG than Reading. But again, we've pulled out the results. Salah Alafi in the first minute. When that went in, I thought it was going to be a good day at the office. We then really struggled. We have had no control over our games all season long. Anthony Johnson got a second at the start of the second half. We then played the rest of the game with 10 men when Gomez was sent off. So another fortunate one, but another 3 points on the board. So I went into Huddersfield with a lot of confidence. Huddersfield are in the relegation zone. They are right down the bottom of the table. They are really struggling. And I thought that this was a good chance to guarantee our place in the playoffs. We just needed to win to guarantee our place. You can see in terms of shots, we had more shots than them. We had loads more possession. We lost 2-0. Our inconsistency comes back to haunt us. The first game in forever that we've actually looked the better team, and we got stuffed. Really disappointing up front. Look at those ratings up front. Lalafi 6.3, Stefan playing on the left wing 6.4. I did have to make some changes, but no excuses. Johnson a 6.4. Sabi came in at left back, played a 6.5, and I had to play Marti because Viljami Sanisalo is injured and pretty much out for the rest of the season. So Marti came back in this game and was poor. And I'm really worried about that for today. So that's basically where we are. You can see the last 5 games, really inconsistent. 2 wins, 2 defeats, and a draw. Yeah, I'm not confident. I'm not confident at all. Fitness tests, Sean Mavadidi, all right. Luciano Guante still injured. So, I mean, wrist ligaments. Could he not play with a cast on his arm or something? Do we really need to be without him for wrist ligaments? Seriously? They are playing the same formation as us. So they're number 10, Askew, who has done us a lot of damage in the past, as has Shakur Omar. They are going to be very, very dangerous in this game. I was considering going back to the defensive midfielder formation, but you know what? I'm gonna stick with it. I'm committed to it. I'm gonna do it. The change I am gonna make though is I'm gonna put Jose Santos in the number 10 role. I think Benfica want him to be an attacking midfielder, so I'm gonna start him off as an attacking midfielder and change his role once the game starts in, just to con Benfica into thinking that I'm playing him where they want him. Ika Marti is in goal. As I say, Sanisalo is injured. How long is he out for? He's out for 3 more weeks. He might be back for the playoffs should we get there. Igor Luis at right back, Dylan Jones at left back, Apaya and Hermes Rodriguez are the centre backs. Hermes Rodriguez has been playing really well. You remember that after a really good start, he was appalling and he was under a 7 rating. He's now up above 7 again. So he's been really good. Preetz has got to come into midfield as the box-to-box midfielder because Parkin is also injured and he's out for a month. He would probably miss playoffs if we make it. Weston Spence, I've just changed his role to a ball-winning midfielder. I feel like we need a little bit more defensive presence and a little bit more pressure on the ball in midfield. I've just been experimenting and trying to find a way to get our midfield to control the game more, so that we don't concede so many chances, so we're not so open. And we're going to see if Weston Spence can be a ball-winning midfielder today. He has got major interest in him. From Aston Villa, Leeds and West Ham in the Premier League. He's developed brilliantly over the course of the season. He's improved a vision point. He's improved a first touch point. He is a superb player that I see as the future of the club. He's got a 16 million release clause. So if one of those Premier League teams wants to come in and drop 16 million on us, we could lose him in the summer. But I really see him as the player I want to build this team around. And if we don't go up, I think he's absolutely vital to us next season. Anthony Johnson on the right wing, Mavididi on the left because Guante is injured. Jose Santos number 10 and Lalafi is the striker up front. Sabe and Rodriguez. Rodriguez has not long been back from injury, the right back. Can play in central midfield as well. A decent option either way. He's had a really good season. I'm thinking I'm going to sell him in the summer though, because he's worth a lot of money. He is good without being exceptional. So if I can get major money, if I can get 14, 15 million for him, I think it is worth moving him on in the summer. But he is a very good option to have on the bench, very versatile, can even play at centre-back as well. So, yeah, a good member of the squad, Ismael Rodriguez has been. Roland, who has got a terrible average rating, is a defensive midfield option, as is Edwards. Jack Evans, the right wing or shadow striker option. Josh Steffen can play number 10 or left wing. And Peter Finnan is the backup striker. Who is not involved apart from Sanisalo and Guante? Parkin is obviously out, as we've said. Yeah, apart from that, we are pretty much at full strength. So that is the team that's going in today. I have made a few little tactical tweaks. Again, just searching for consistency. I thought when we got ourselves into the playoffs, I thought, okay, if I can just find that little secret sauce, that little combination of tactics that gets the team functioning, we can be a really good team and we can really hit it in the playoffs. But it just hasn't happened. We've just struggled all season to string wins together. And we're now in a situation where we've got two really, really tough games to get ourselves into a playoff spot. We need to come up big today because I don't fancy our chances away at Portsmouth. So you see, they're 19th in the form table. Well, that surprises me. Their form didn't look that bad, but let's go with that. The players like the sound of that. I mean, you saw there we're 12th in the form table, so that is literally mid-table form. Not been good enough, but if we can just take advantage of this managerial change that Blackburn have had and just get the job done today, then it's all good, isn't it? Let's have a look here. All right, so I am going to change Santos into that Trecatista role. He's actually best in his advanced play. Should I do that? Let's make him an advanced playmaker, because now I'm playing Weston Spence, a ball-winning midfielder. There is no playmaker in the team. So we'll look at Santos as the playmaker. Now, I've started playing, when we got that little bit of form together, I started playing very short and very slow. I am going to start with that today, and we're also running at the defence. We're trying to dribble more with our attacking players. So I am going to start like that, but with our playmaker being further up the field, I might start going a little bit more direct, try and get it into Santos a bit earlier. Let's have a look. So we are on TV by the looks of it. A little bit of a press conference before the game, but it is now all about the players on the pitch. Yeah, so they've won their last game, Blackburn, but they are not in the greatest of form. Let's just get this done, boys. Let's get this done. A win guarantees the playoffs. I am far from confident. I have been really worried about doing this game, but it's the moment of truth now. We've got to get this done. The first highlight starts with us in possession. Are we going to lose the ball though, as we have done so consistently over the course of the season? It's a nice little bit of possession play, but we are under pressure from Blackburn and we're not getting it out of our own half just yet. And yeah, I have to say, it makes me nervous watching the boys keeping the ball. And there it is. I was fully expecting that. But Jones wins it back. And can he get a cross in? Is that a free kick? Is this going to be an early sending off? Dormer is sent off in the 5th minute. What an opportunity for us. What an opportunity. We're now a man up against second in the league and with a chance to get this job done. Let's hope that the players do not mess this up. And Anthony Johnson, is that Johnson or Jones? It's an own goal. Jones's cross turned in, and in the first 10 minutes of the game we're a man up and a goal up from an own goal. Blackburn are having an absolute nightmare. Jones firing it across, and it's chested in by Kuban at the back post. He's really helped us out there. What a start to the game. We're 1-0 up without having had a shot. And the corner goes in. I'm going to praise the players without seeing the end of this highlight. That might be a dangerous move. I mean, yeah, we're 1-0 up and a man up, but the way our season has gone, that does not fill me with confidence. I think we're more than capable of shooting ourselves in the foot here. But Lalafi does really well to win that back, and it's into Anthony Johnson, and he's missed a sitter. The Nigerian international. Millwall beating Middlesbrough, which is huge. Middlesbrough are our main threat to our place in the playoffs. And what do I do here? Do I just leave things the way they are? I mean, oh my goodness. And now they've got a free kick in a dangerous spot. This is normally where they go in from, and it has gone in. Oh my goodness. Right, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to play a bit more quickly now. I'm going to play a bit more width just to try and stretch them with the fact that they're a man down. And so I was playing very wide. I changed my defensive setup and I've been playing very wide. Send them down the middle of the pitch. I'm going to switch back with the fact that they're a man down. I'm going to try and send them out to where they shouldn't have that much strength. So let's see if those changes work. And do I go to a positive mentality? Yeah, I knew as soon as I saw that free kick set up, that is a spot on Football Manager where the majority of the time the ball seems to go in. I'm going to go to a positive mentality, and I'm going to encourage the players. And come on, boys. Leicester losing to West Brom as well. Middlesbrough have now equalised. And we have been pretty awful, you have to say, with all the advantages we've been given here. We have been absolutely appalling. I'm going to tell them I'm not happy. And let's see if they can pick things up in the second half. Come on, boys. Let's just get the job done here. Come on. I mean, you can see it's been an even game despite us being a man up. I mean, this has just been the story of our season. Let's demand more from the players as we get to the hour mark and we are still not creating chances. No highlights, but we've got one here. Santos back to Igor Luiz, and I mean, that just sums it up, doesn't it? That just sums it up when your right back is shooting high and wide for the only highlight of the second half. Let's pause it there. What do I change here? Sean Mavididi is absolutely shattered. I'm going to change him up for Josh Steffen. What is Josh Steffen's best role? Do you know what? I'm going to make Josh Steffen an advanced playmaker on support, and I'm going to change Santos to a Trecatista. Just try and get some movement and some interchanges up front. And I'm thinking Finnan coming on as a striker for Santos might be the way forward if things don't pick up. But I will leave it at that for now. I've got no other major changes that I really want to make here. Jose Santos is getting pretty tired. Do you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to bring on Jack Evans as a shadow striker for Santos. And we're going to see if just with a little bit of different movement, we can just cause Blackburn some problems up front. I'm going to demand more again. I mean, we've taken control in the second half, but with absolutely no highlights, which is a real shame. Last 10 minutes, it sums up our season, doesn't it? And if Blackburn win it here, that would just be absolutely typical of what this season has been for us. But we are turning it into an attack for ourselves at the moment. Johnson hits the bar. Oh, come on. One more, boys. Come on. Jones into Stefan. Do not give this away, boys. Evans to Lalafi. And Lalafi has won it with his 25th of the season. Surely that's the winner. Oh, I take it all back. And the changes, the two substitutes combining there to set up Lalafi. And the changes have hopefully done the trick. Let's just pause for a second. And let's just make some changes to see this one out. Warren Sabi is going to come on at left back for a very tired Dylan Jones. And I'm going to take off that overlap. We are going to fully time waste, shoot on sight, and now we're just going to look to slow things right down. And I think we'll knock back our line of engagement as well. Right, so let's G up the subs. And it wasn't pretty, it was stressful, but at the moment it looks like we're going to make it as we now get a corner, and if we make it 3-1, it would just be the icing on the cake. Save now. Can he get a cross in? He can, and it is 3-1. Salah Lalafi is there again. Well, we made hard work of it, but we've got there in the end. We have guaranteed a playoff spot. And hopefully now we can confirm 3rd or 4th place. And Salah Lalafi getting in front of the goalkeeper. He really has come good over the last couple of months. He's really settled in now. And as you would expect from the second top scorer in the league, he now looks a goal threat in most of the games. I'm delighted with that. We obviously got the real rub of the green with the early sending off. Would that have been a different game without it? It probably would have been. But I'm really pleased that we have got that job done. Let's really tell them we're delighted. Really try and get the morale up going into that last game against Sunderland. Let's have a look and see what the table looks like. If there's nothing on the line for the Sunderland game, then the next episode is going to be the playoffs. But if we can maybe get 3rd place, I'll carry on this episode and do the Sunderland game as well. Let's just see if it's necessary or not. Well, there you go. We are guaranteed 5th place. We cannot catch Bristol City. They beat Huddersfield 1-0 in their game. Derby still have half a chance of beating Blackburn to 2nd place, but they lost 3-2 against Marco Silva's Brentford. And Reading, what happened to Reading? Where is their results? Why can't I see it? Is it right down the bottom here? So Reading beat Sheffield Wednesday 1-0, but it doesn't matter. They're 4 points behind us. They cannot catch us. They will have to take on either Derby or Bristol City. I would like Bristol City in the playoffs. We have beaten them 4-0 and 3-0 in the league this season. I think they do represent our best chance of getting to the playoff final. So I would like it to be Hopefully Reading against Derby. I wouldn't really want Leicester in the playoffs. I think they are very, very dangerous. Middlesbrough, they are still in with a chance, as are Portsmouth. So it's all to play for that 6th place. Reading have got to get the job done in their final game, basically, haven't they? But we are there. We can relax a little bit. I will go full strength against Sunderland just to try and finish on a high, just to try and finish with back-to-back wins and take some confidence and some form into the playoffs. But that will be our next episode. Playoff semi-finals, most probably against Bristol City. If you've enjoyed this episode, drop a like on it, help me out. We do get a few more views now than we used to. So every view and every like and every comment can just really help me out in growing the channel, hopefully. So please drop a like on it and comment if you want to. And I will see you tomorrow for the playoff semi-finals. Bye for now.